Jim, you do too?
It's very
I
good to
dressed
see you.
up for you?
You look great. You look nice.
Thank you very much.
I was thinking about you a lot today. You know I'm a little bit obsessed with you, right? I mean, I had the lunchbox with Fonzie on it and all that stuff.
Yes, right.
And I was thinking about the Jump the Shark thing, and people talk to you about it all the time.
Right.
You know. I went and watched it again, and I remember being like really nervous when you did jump that shark the first time.
Well, I did all the water skiing except for the jump.
Except the jump.
Yes.
Yes, you can see very clearly which parts are you and which are not you.
Yes.
Yes.
I had the better legs.
This is you, by the way.
This is me.
And it's pretty good, I have to say.
Yeah, okay, so.
And look how happy you are at the end when you get like, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so honestly, if you watch that smile, half the smile is Henry going, oh my God, I made it.
Yeah.
And the other half is Fonz going, all right, I made it.
How many times, was that the first take you made it?
That was the first take, yes.
Yeah, because otherwise you would have had to get your hair all blown out and the whole thing again.
And that is the reason that I skied very well. My father, a very short German Jew, he said to me, tell the producers, tell Guy Marshall that you water ski.
He did.
I said, I don't know, Dad. I'm not going to. No, tell him you. And also, if you go to the White House, take cake.
Did you? Well, obviously, you told Gary that you water ski.
Finally, after a year or two, I said to Gary, my father wants you to know I water ski. And there it was.
And did you take cake to the White House?
I did.
You did, of course. Well, you got to listen to your dad.
They didn't have any.
In the jacket, I would think Fonzie would not wear the life jacket over the leather jacket.
I had a fight about that.
You did, yeah.
I did. I had a little argument. There were words. It was hard to look at that yellow tire around my stomach and still be cool.
Yeah.
No, really.
And yet you did, somehow.
Yeah, because you know what I had to do? I had to overcome that yellow piece of rubber.
And you did overcome it. You certainly did.
Yeah.
I wonder if young people understand, well, first of all, what a huge star you were because everyone was watching Happy Days. Everyone in the country was watching.
Well, at that time, there were only 3 networks.
Yeah.
So 58% of the audience was watching Happy Days.
58% of the television viewing which is
audience,
almost everybody, was watching Happy Days.
Yes.
And this is a magazine that's almost entirely devoted to you. I mean, if you go through this magazine, it is... I spent a good hour looking at this magazine today. It's at home with Fonzie. You're taking out the garbage. This may be the first Stars They're Just Like Us moment, in a way.
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long.
There you are. Is this really your, like, kitchen here at the bottom?
Yes, I rented an apartment with a wet bar. And
cool.
In the refrigerator, I had a tuna fish sandwich, ambrosia salad, and 2 boxes of Amandine wine, or Almandine, whatever it's called. White and red for guests, because I don't drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is Fonzie's secret passion. It says you're passionate about ceramics.
Yes,
here.
okay, so this was a lie.
What?
This is my very first photo shoot with ABC. And they said, you've got to do something. You've got to be active. And so they put me in front of a wheel.
This is pottery.
I have never touched clay in my life. But didn't I look good? I looked good.
You look really good. You look very artistic. I have one more thing. And this is when you know you've made it. Henry Winkler's favorite recipes. Pot roast, potato pancakes, and chocolate mousse. Pot roast.
I actually have never made this meal, but they are my favorite. Stacy, my wife, makes an unbelievable pot roast. I love potato pancakes with applesauce and sour cream, and chocolate mousse was at one time my favorite dessert.
I feel like my whole childhood was a lie now, looking at this pot roast recipe.
No, I ate that. I just didn't make that.
I see. Okay, all right. Well, I'll accept that as a poor substitute.
Yeah.
But now you have really reached, in my opinion, the pinnacle. I mean, the Emmy is great. Meeting the Queen is great. Golden Globe, all that stuff. But you were on the cover of Costco Connection magazine this month. And that is an honor I once received, and And I wouldn't say I received the honor so much as I hounded them until they put me on the cover of Costco Connection magazine.
I think you deserve to be on the cover.
I was on the cover.
Once a year.
Once a year? Yeah. Oh, you're right. I would love to be.
Yeah.
I'd like it to be like Oprah magazine, where I'm on every single one.
But I want to say
yes.
that this is truly unbelievable.
Because you write these books.
Right. There are 28 Hank Zipsers, and they are in Costco. And Lynn, Oliver, and I, we have tried so hard since 2003 to get into Costco because I go to Costco.
Are you a Costco guy?
Are you kidding me? I leave with a toilet roll that you can't carry. There are so many. The only thing is I went there also to get goggles for my grandchildren. I have 5, but you must buy 96.
Yeah, you have to have more grandchildren.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not Costco's responsibility.
Yeah.
You got to have more kids in the family.
I'm talking to my kids.
Oh, well, please do. Well, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna see. By the way, if you haven't seen Barry, well, you're about to see it. Henry Winkler is here. We'll be right back.
In order to play him, you've got to use the worst thing you've ever done in your life.
Yeah, no, and that was the worst thing I had ever done in my life.
Thank Christ. Because, you know, you killed somebody and got away with it. Okay, so I want you to dig deep. I want you to get in there. I want you to paddle that canoe there, soldier. And Barry, thank you.
For what?
For telling me your story. I am very touched that I was able to gain your trust. I am so late for my escape room.
That is Henry Winkler, Gene Cousineau, and Barry with the great Bill Hader. I love that show. I love it. When you won the Emmy last year,
yes,
it was one of the great. It was like the best moment of the Emmy show. It was so exciting.
It was so exciting. You know, people say, "Well, you've been nominated before." I never thought about what I didn't win. I only thought about I won. And now the show has 17 nominations.
Crazy. Yeah. That's a lot of nominations. Is that, like, of all these things that you've done in this career, you've had this great career,
right,
what's the thing that strikes you as like, I can't believe that happened. I cannot believe that.
You mean at any time?
At any time, yeah.
I was on the set of Happy Days.
Okay.
And there is a table, you know, a standing table on wheels. The script supervisor uses it to follow the lines and make sure that everybody knows. And there are 2 telephones. One is an outside line, and one is to the studio. We could call Gary Marshall or the writers and say, I've got a problem. They would come down. So the phone rings, and they say, Henry, there's a phone call for you. And I walked over to the phone, and the man said, hi, my name is Sergeant Joe Brown. That's not his name. Sergeant Joe Brown. And he was a state trooper from Illinois. And he said, I'm sorry to bother you. I said, no, that's okay, sir. What is it? He said, I have a 17-year-old kid on the ledge, and he is threatening to jump off, and he will only talk to you. And I don't know where I got the nerve to take the phone and start talking to this kid. I said, okay, what is your name? John. John, okay. How old are you, John? 17. You're 17, you're on the ledge, why do you want to jump, John? I want to be an actor. So you're 17, you haven't made it yet. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you collect records? Do you have a record collection? Because at that time there were vinyl.
Sure.
I said, do you have a record collection? He said, yes. I said, okay, so before you jump, John, will you just will them to me? Okay, good. Do me a favor. If you get off the ledge, let's talk about acting. Okay? All right. Yeah, hand the phone. Yeah, okay. All right. You're inside now? Okay. I was 27 when I got the Fonz, John. I think you've got 10 good years to keep trying. How about that? Will you do that? Okay. Can I get back to rehearsing? Thank you.
You saved his life.
I never
Was
heard
that
about
John
him.
Travolta?
No, but he told me I had great muscles.
Oh, he did? All right.
But I am, honestly, I have not thought about that story in a while. I don't know where I got the nerve to talk to him, and I just thought, I'm gonna maybe take him in another direction. And I never got the records.
Wow, yeah. You should get a trophy for that.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you love fishing. You love the water. Would you be interested in belly flopping and being a part of our belly flop competition? It's very easy. We got a wetsuit and everything if you want to wear one. I mean, we got a wetsuit. We got the whole.
You're talking about tonight?
Yes, tonight. Yes. It's a big competition.
Are you talking about in my suit?
We'll put you in a wetsuit. No, you don't have to wear your suit. Something that you won't ruin. Yes? All right. Henry Winkler is going in the pool. Barry is on HBO. We have a last-minute addition to our pedestrian belly flop competition. None other than Henry Winkler is on the board. Henry, you look good in red. Are you ready to do this? You ready?
I'm ready.
Henry, it's a little bit hard to hear you with the snorkel in your mouth, but Henry, to increase the level of difficulty, we have decided to add an obstacle to the pool on your way to your belly flop. Do you think you can jump over this shark?
That will be the third time I've ever done that, Jim.
All right, well, that's enough times. All right. What was the second time, just out of curiosity?
On Arrested Development, I jumped over the shark on the dock.
Oh, that's right. All right, well, this one, there's nothing to worry about. I think it's a lemon shark, all right? Are you ready, Henry?
I am, sir.
Let's see what you got. 3,
I am crazy.
2, 1, ready, judges. Here comes Henry with the flop. And there he goes. He jumped the shark for sure. Let's go to the judges now to see their scores. Oh my goodness! Wow, is that an 11, Sean? 31 for Henry. Henry, congratulations! You set a new world record, an unprecedented 31.
I'm so proud, and I have done it for all short people in the world.
Oh, well, congratulations, Henry Winkler, our belly flop.
Yes,
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel, and this is the Internet. I made it myself. Hit subscribe if you like it.